This conference will now be recorded.
All right, welcome. Coffee chat. Today's topic is going to be life insurance marketing. A lot of things you want to consider. Um, it's 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 more of starting with a plan and moving it forward and working working the activity to get the results. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. So, marketing life insurance. You got to know what your objectives are. Like, how many sales do you want to basically have each month? And once you determine that, then we're going to talk about working it backwards of figuring out what activity you have to do to get those sales. Okay. And you got to know your target market. So if you are going to market life insurance, there's some demographics that you want to take a closer look at, and maybe go after that particular market first and foremost, to where you're more likely to get some wins versus, just spreading it out to everybody and hopefully someone calls back. So we're going to take a look at that. When you do have a plan, you want to calendar the activity that you're doing. You got to dedicate some time to put this in play. All right. And when you do that, then you just begin. All right. So first things first, how many a month do you want to sell? Now I use the 80-20 rule, which is very common. Right. So, if you want one a month, that's basically three a quarter. That's kind of the minimum target you want to hit. You look at, in order to get one sale using the 80-20 rule, 20% of whoever you present to is probably going to buy. So that means you need to have five presentations with someone, whether it's online or in person. Right now, pretty much it's online. Some people will still get face to face. More people are actually shopping online. And so do five presentations will get you one sale. But in order to get five presentations using the 80-20 rule, well, then you'd have to do 25 appointments because not everyone's going to make the appointment. Things happen. We've had no shows. People get ghosted. People have things that come up. And so you want to do that activity to where you're booking 25 appointments, you keep five, you close one. Okay. But in order to get those appointments, you got to make the calls. Okay. And so that's 125 using the 80-20 rule, right? 125 contacts to get 25 appointments, right? To do five presentations to get one sale. And so you want to focus on the activity. And if you do the activity, the results will show up. I always say activity leads to results. And so if you continuously do the activity, then those results will be there. But another thing you want to look at is in every aspect, every step of the sales process, replay what you did, what worked, what didn't work, whatever didn't work, stop doing it. Okay, so that's where you fine tune your craft and what to say, what not to say to get the appointment and move the process forward, where you're doing better than 20% of the sales. Okay, so but you always want to replay what you did. Take a look at your target market. This I kind of looked around in a couple different areas, and the target market in buying life insurance is kind of the 30 to 45 age group. Okay, these consumers are in the life stage that includes getting married, having children, buying a home. There's more of a likelihood that they would be open to having a conversation about life insurance. And so you want to start probably pulling lists out of your book of business, narrowing it down to this target market, all right, and then market to them first. And eventually you'll start, adding others into the program, okay, as far as different marketing and going other places. So, but start with that target demographic. All right, like I said, you want to increase your odds of success. And, you know, per studies, this is a target market. I've seen it in a couple different areas. And so take a look at it. All right. Calendar your activity. You got to dedicate some time. All right, so you want to pull your list, send emails. I would go through Apex, pull your list in Apex, your target list. I would say, let's say, home with no life insurance. Okay, pull the list. You can send emails. Now, there's a lot of templates that they have. There's like the quick send marketing. There's email templates in LifeNet. They have a wealth of information in LifeNet now for marketing. And you can cut and paste those email templates, put it in the email, create an email template, and send it out. All right. You can use the quick send messages. I like the one that's for FFRs, where you can pitch life insurance also. And it's preset. It's just more of a click and boom, it goes out. All right. Now, just because you send it out doesn't mean it stops there. All right. You got to follow up and call. The more touch points you have, the more likely you are to build a relationship where they're going to want to work with you and be open to a conversation. All right. You know what's really cool is when you send an email, go into your agent deep dive dashboard and you can see that they opened the email. And so when you call up, you can just play stupid, like, hey, I don't know if you saw my email, but I wanted to follow up. Well, they opened it because it tells you they did. You see? So and that's gonna, so you're getting some traction there that you want to follow up. And then just, have a conversation. And just, hey, this is something that we're doing. We want to make sure everyone's protected. We want to look out for you and your family and make sure the mortgage is paid off if something should happen. All right. And so set tasks for follow-up calls. If you can't reach them, set a task, call them back later on. Call different times during the day, maybe in the evening when they get home from work, whatever it may be. And don't be afraid to ask for the sale. Now, when I say ask for the sale, it's not necessarily closing the sale. It's asking for the appointment, asking to be able to set some time aside to do a presentation. And when you do the presentation, then ask to let's submit an application. Let's see if you get approved. All right. And then and then after it's approved, then you ask for the sale. Let's set this thing up. Okay. And when you do submit the application, make sure you follow the underwriting process. If there's any additional information that needs to be submitted, make sure that it's in the system. Help give your prospects a smooth, easy way to buy from you. Okay. I don't like surprises. Most people don't like surprises. Let me know what's going on. Let me know that when you call, you need 20 minutes on the phone. Let me know that when we meet, I need about 40 minutes to do a presentation, educate you about life insurance and things like that. Okay. Let them know this is a process. I submitted the application to underwriting. You're going to get an e-signature. You need to sign the DocuSign. It'll come back to me and it'll go back to Farmers Life Underwriting and we'll push it forward. Okay. And so again, let people know what's going on during this process. All right. What to send? Like I said, I like these quick send messages. All right. So you can go into Apex, go into the customer's account, click on the marketing tab. Okay. And then you'll see the quick send messages. I'm sorry, activities, then marketing, and then there's quick send messages. Okay. Make sure the email is good. But this is a sample template, and I like this. It's pretty simple. Protecting your family's home takes more than a good alarm system. For most of us, a home is the most expensive purchase we ever make, and a mortgage is the biggest debt we'll ever pay. And so these are some things that are already, are templates that are in the system for you to just use. Just click, send, task yourself to give them a call the next day or the next 2 days. Okay. I mean, it's that simple. You can either use the quick send messages, or you can get some of the letters and farmers and create an email template. And if you need the steps on how to create an email template, let me know. We can send it out. Okay. It's so easy. I like the email templates. You just label them and you can just have a bunch of them. And all you do is pull up their email, click on the email, click on, input this template and send. Done. Okay. It's very simple to get the word out there, but you do have to follow up and call. So you want to
Lauren,
set
can
a
you?
task
Would it
yourself
be a
to call.
possibility for you to send a script on the email template, please?
Yes, sir. I will. You got it, AK.
Thanks, sir.
Oh my God, so awesome. I even use it with my outside company too. Now that I'm using Salesforce to track it, it just makes my life so much easier. So as an agent, this has got to be easier for you. Okay. So, but I mean, utilize the tools, but make sure you follow up. That's the biggest thing is people don't follow up. Okay. Objections. Yeah, you're going to get some. And we already know the four biggest objections you're going to get from any client is no time, no need, no money, no trust. Right. And so if you know that, then you can either head off the objection, hit it off at the pass, and pulverize the objection before it shows up. And that's part of having good conversations and asking questions and giving information that resolves that. Okay. So expect those. And if you have a response to these four objections, that's probably 90% of the objections you're going to get. And so you got to know how to overcome them. But now you got to look internally. What are the objections that you have? What's keeping you from asking for the life insurance sale? Right? And I can come up with all kinds of reasons because I've worked with agents, right? Either they don't know the product, they're afraid to say the wrong thing, or it's a sensitive topic, which I have down here. The challenge in selling life insurance is a reality of the event that triggers policy benefits. It's death. Many Americans simply don't want to address the need to provide for family members after their own demise. It's a sensitive topic, all right? But you got to be comfortable having those comfortable conversations, because if you don't, who will? All right. And so, and we don't want to leave people unprotected. We got to at least offer it to them. Let them say no. Put it in your notes, because you definitely want to, document your interactions with. They don't want it at this time. Got it. The next time I see you, I'm going to ask for that order, because it's the most important product we offer our clients. And I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't make sure you had something in place for your family. Okay. That means every time I see you, I'm going to ask for that order. And that's where I'm going to be the thorn in your side. Every time I see you, hey, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, when are we going to get that life insurance on the books? Okay. So, I mean, you got to be an advocate. People need to know that you offer it. A lot of people, auto, home, they don't know you do life insurance. All right, I go in a lot of agents' offices and I don't see anything that says they sell life insurance at all. And so change what you do, change how you do it. All right. I want to open it up. We do have quite a few people here. What questions, what are your personal objections that keep you from moving forward in offering life insurance, having conversations about life insurance, or moving towards a sale? Okay. Oh, come on. Steve, talk to me. Welcome, by the way.
Nice of you to pick me out.
Yeah.
My biggest issue, honestly, Lauren, is probably, you and I went through. I was trying to upload a bunch of leads that I had through other companies that I deal with, and just getting them into Salesforce has been an issue to try to put them on some sort of automatic emailing thing,
Okay.
just so I could get some warm stuff happening. I typically talk about life insurance. So I wrote life insurance policy for my two college age kids last year. I wrote two VUL policies. And then, when talking to my wife, was telling her I use it for, it's a great way for savings, right? For them to use it for their later on, if they want to use it for higher education, if they want to use that money for buying down payment on a house, or they get into an issue where they have some unexpected bill come up. And so I've started that approach with some of the people that I know that have kids that are hopefully younger, but even, up to college age kids, because the premium's still not totally out of control, right? I mean, I think I wrote $250,000 VULs and the premium was like $89 a month or something like that for healthy
Yeah, that's
kids.
that's actually pretty
Um,
good.
and I I'm just trying to come up with a way too to push it out to like include grandparents, right, for their grandkids if because they're always seeming to look for a way to kind of bring some value to their kids, but not directly, right? I don't know what it
Yeah.
is, but they're like, oh, I'll give it to your kids, my grandkids, but not to you, right? Until I
Yeah.
die. So, I mean, it seems like, do you have any suggestions on that for reaching out to those people and kind of broaching that topic with them?
Well, I have grandkids, so for me, it's probably easier because I actually bought the policies for my grandkids too. I want them to have a better start than what I had. My parents didn't give me a lot of knowledge, a lot of the information I learned while growing up. And so, with that knowledge, I got to look out for my family, for my kids and my grandkids. And so, you can kind of pitch it that way. That this is what you're doing for your family, and you think that they should also. A lot of people, I mean, even IRAs, I mean, your FFS license, IRAs and things like that. Yeah, parents never started, but as soon as they're working, they can set up an IRA and start saving for their future. But nobody thinks of that. And so the earlier you start, the more you have the magic of compound interest and time on your side to grow your money a lot more than a taxable savings account at a bank. So, but I mean, we can put together some letters We can research it online, get a couple templates as far as, approaching grandparents and putting something in place for grandkids or making it available to them, educating them about it. And then we can start an email campaign. Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, all of
Okay.
this.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. I also have, I was talking to another agent and something that he brought up kind of triggered me too, right? Because he said he was talking to somebody about life insurance and they were a Hispanic family. And the lady said, well, yeah, we have, our 2-year-old daughter. And he said, well, it'd be a great time to start saving. And she said, well, could I use that money that I built up for a quinceañera? And he's like, absolutely. And she's like, sign me up. Right.
Yeah.
So then that got me into the whole people don't, I got kids that are potentially getting married shortly. Right.
Mhm.
And saving for weddings and stuff like that is brutal. So it seems
Yeah.
like those are all good avenues to address with people instead of making it about necessarily your kid passing away. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. You can focus on the living benefit. And a lot of
Yeah.
it's
Can I
based on
share something on my screen, Lauren, that addresses exactly what Steve's talking about? Would
yes.
you mind?
Uh,
Oh, totally.
Okay, so there's some tools that are out there that might help a little bit with the whole juvenile discussion, that you can give to parents or grandparents on the significance of kind of locking in that insurability, like you're talking about, and the living benefit. So let me share this first. Can you see my screen on
mhm.
LifeNet?
Yep.
Hmm.
Okay, so where this is found, if you go to sales tools and sales ideas, it'll pull up all these different letters that are already done for you and marketing pieces. These are all fixing to get ready to go into Apex once Apex is ready for the life company. We're moving fast these days. So one of these ones is the juvenile policy flyer. And this is just kind of nice to, have handy for some of your parents or grandparents, like you were talking about, where, why it's important, what is this whole college funding strategy, and really taking an approach to life insurance as maybe a timeline approach where you're talking to them different, like you guys described, life events. Maybe it's a quinceanera, maybe it's the first home purchase down payment, maybe it's retirement. And so you're talking, like you described, a lot more about the living benefits. There's also a document in here that is for back to school for juveniles. And now this is a little bit, we're in the throes of school, right? But there are some letters out here that you can leverage. Maybe you just take out the school bells ringing or they're returning to school. But there's letters on LifeNet that are already pre-approved that you can leverage and create a template in Apex, like Lauren was describing, that you can, you identified that this is a grandparent or this is a parent, that you can then just do a quick send message. But this is individual. It's not the group type of mass email kind of thing that you could send, but you can create an individualized Apex template leveraging these letters that you can then send to your customers after you talk to them and you identify that there's somebody that might work for this. The other thing I wanted to show you just really fast are the Apex resources that just came out for LifeNet. Can you see my screen that says Apex? I don't know.
I just see LifeNet with the
You just see
list.
LifeNet? Okay, let me try and reshare.
I'm so happy you could make it, Johanna.
Thank you for inviting me. I apologize for being a little late. I had a meeting that went right up till 10.
That was me.
What's that?
That was Maggie. It's Maggie here. I'm sorry. I was part of that meeting. So
Oh, good. Did you get any good stuff out of it? Hopefully, fingers crossed.
it was very good, but up until the very end when my mic was off, so I had some questions in there. I which is probably just as well because I like interrupting. So So now we
Well,
see the Life Apex now.
and it was a little noisy where I am because I'm in a district office, and there was like
Ah.
people all around. Like it was a little crazy.
That's right.
So if
Maybe
you take
I'll ask him here.
okay, yeah, if you take a look at this is at your fingertips right now. So you could go and grab it. If you look at where the little red light bulb is here at the bottom, if you go to the Apex and you go to Apex training and then select resources and then just type in life in the search bar, all of these different things here, whether you want to create a filter by age or you want to create a filter by business owner customers, maybe it's accessing an email template, from the LifeNet system. Any of these things, there are step-by-step walkthroughs on how to do them, to pull these different lists. So Steve, like you were talking about, where you want to create like a repeatable process, you could target a specific segment of your customers, like Lauren was saying earlier, and maybe send it from Outlook. So you grab your list from Apex and you send a letter from Outlook rather than sending it from Apex. So you got your letter and email, and you can send in the email on LifeNet. Apex tells you who, and then you create your own email that way.
Okay, that's helpful.
Just until it gets ready to insert these different things. We tried to get more quick sends and more all of these letters, and they're like, we're not ready. So
Not yet, but if you want to brainstorm, get together sometime, Steve, and then put together some scripts or anything to create email templates, let me know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I know AK's
we,
got to roll off here. I want to see if he had any questions real quick. Sorry, Johanna.
I do not. I'm good. Thank you. The only thing is if you could send me that script.
You got it. You got it.
And Jojo, on your meeting, my wife was on the meeting. I'm not sure if you recognized her or not, but I was in the background.
in the meeting this morning,
Yes.
oh my, I didn't recognize anybody. I was barely able to like get my computer to work right. So sorry.
No worries. No worries.
All good. All right. Awesome. All right. Maggie, Victoria, any questions?
I do have. This is the age of the QR code. Do we have anything associated with something like that?
As far as, say that again?
QR codes. I mean, you can access a lot of information via QR codes. People are looking, so QR codes, it's going to send you to a website. Pow, there's a whole lot of information there. Or whatever we choose to send out to people in terms of QR codes. So, do we have something like that?
You can. I mean, I've searched, how to generate QR codes, and there's companies that provide them for free. You can provide the information. It creates a QR code, that little
Okay.
thing, and you can use it.
Yeah,
Um,
they don't
yeah.
have a farmer's QR code. They don't have a farmer's QR code generator
You
or
can.
repository of information, but like I use QR Chimp to do the same thing like Lauren was saying, where you can take a PDF like the business information questionnaire, or maybe it's the health information survey or the medical information survey, and you can say, hey, scan this and tell me if you can say yes to any of these questions if you're
Oh, okay.
talking to a client.
Yeah.
QR Chimp, is that what you just called it? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's the one I used, but
Maggie, you could use Office to generate a QR code if you have Office Suite. Also, Google will do it for free for you.
how do you do
Thank
it in
you.
Office? I need an
Maybe
AK
we ought to have one of those
training.
meetings where we show each other how to do these things because it really simplifies a lot of things, I think.
Yeah. It does. All right. We'll talk some more, AK.
All right.
All
Thank you,
right.
guys.
Thank you. Victoria, any questions?
I do have one question, and as you know, Lauren, I'm really new to all of this. But when you run the illustration, when you're in LifeNet, there comes a rundown of like everything. But to someone who doesn't know anything, about life or any of those numbers, it gets, it's kind of intimidating. And I noticed that there's and I might be wrong, it's like a summary button that we can hit that shows like plain and simple numbers. Like, all right, it starts at year run, and this is for IUL, excuse me.
Yeah.
And it runs down the numbers like kind of simplified. Do we have anything like that that we can like provide to people who are interested as a way of
We
like
have,
showing them like, here's the numbers. This at the end, like you can end up with like your granddaughter will end up with like $2 million. How do we show them something simple like that? Because that's kind of
there-
like
oh,
where I'm kind of struggling at right now.
okay, there's quite a few tools on how to do illustrations. And so, I mean, reach out to me. I can send you a couple. That's not a problem. But there's a lot of
Okay.
tips and tricks. Me, I like being side by side because I like explaining it as we go through it. So should I use this? Should I, do this? How should I calculate premium, target, minimum, guideline max? I mean, whatever it may be. And so there's quite a few steps. And once you get comfortable with it, it's so easy. It's easier
Okay.
than you
Yeah. I'm
think.
in that stage where I'm like, warming up, getting to that zone where I'm comfortable with it.
That's good. And so, but this is what I like is getting feedback of what you need so we can work with you to help you move forward. And that's
Can I
great.
share another screen? I got an
Mhm.
idea for you. Okay, so I just asked the marketing department to create this for us because you're not alone in that a lot of people are like, gosh, illustrations are like 30 pages a piece. And Maggie, you were just on the call, so you know what I just showed everybody, right?
Yeah, you kind of have to muddle through it. It's kind of like you're going this, and this, and this, and it
Yeah,
kind of
so
you lose the flow of things.
Yeah, so you're going to have to understand the illustration and what the inputs are going to be. But we have this new form where you can show your client option A, B, or C. And if you're a juvenile and you're 60 years old, by the time you start taking money out, it's significant what you're showing in the way of distribution. So you can simplify your presentation rather than show, in great detail the illustration. But when you're showing an illustration, again, Lauren is the expert in this. He can walk you through the illustrations to where it's very, very simple, where you're only really showing like 3 pages in the illustration. And if you're talking about the illustration to your client, like, let me show you how it works, just like you would an auto policy. When you're sitting down with them, you're not just saying, okay, you've got 100, 300, 100, right? You're walking them through, let me show you how your policy works. And you put them in their car on the street. And here's what happens if there was an accident and how it plays out, right? It's the same kind of thing for life insurance when you're looking at an illustration. Let me show you how it works. This is what it would have done 20 years ago. This is what it's going to look like moving forward. Hypothetically, it could be better than this, right? Oh,
Yeah,
you're
don't,
muted,
don't,
Lauren.
don't hesitate to reach out. Okay. I mean,
Lauren, I gotta get off for my district meeting. Sorry about that, but
you got it. Okay. Thanks for joining us, my friend.
appreciate you guys. Thank you.
You got it. Yeah. So if you need some assistance with the illustrations, like I said, I can send some collateral, some tips and tricks on how to. But if you definitely want to dedicate some time, get together on a Zoom call, or even come to the district office when I'm there, we can definitely kind of work you through it, talk you through it, and just keep it simple for you. That's me. I'm a simple guy. Okay.
Hey, Victoria. One of the things that we're going to start doing within the next, probably within the next 2 weeks, is we're actually going to do role play classes with just the staff in the district. So we're going to have an opportunity for you to get together with other staff members and no agents allowed. And we're going to be able to kind of role play that together and then run some promotions and stuff like that. So there's going to be some targeted stuff for you pretty quick.
Okay, yeah. I'd be interested in something like that, definitely.
Good. All right, Steve, you got a question?
Yeah, I was going to ask, so, everybody knows to add sewer and drain coverage to homeowner policies and gas shutoff valves and stuff like that.
Mhm.
as far as like free riders and things like that, that you should just include in the life policy to benefit the client better, do you have any suggestions on what to throw in there just automatically?
Accelerated death benefit and the chronic illness rider. They're free. It's an advance on the face amount. If you do, I mean, there's no charge for the rider initially. For the chronic illness, if they do want to take an advance to help cover long-term care needs, then there's a fee associated with that at the time that they need it. The fee is pretty minor compared to the benefits they get from it. Typically, it's a tax-free advance on the face amount of the policy that they can use to cover their long-term care needs. And so, yeah, those are free.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Those are the two best ones I like. Some people like adding accidental death, which is double indemnity up to 150,000 additional coverage if they die by accident. But to me, I'd rather you have enough insurance to take care of things because not everyone dies from an accident. I think, 1 to 2% of people die from an accident. So to me, that's a false sense of security, even though it's quite inexpensive. I just don't believe in it too much. So, okay.
Okay.
You
Cool.
got it. All right. All right. I'm going to reach out to Tammy again. Tammy, any other questions?
No, I'm back. I had a client that called in that was kind of consuming, so I missed a little bit of the last part of the session here, but we're good.
Good. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, I want to say thank you for joining us today. Let me pop this back in here. Woo. And I greatly appreciate the feedback. So my call to action for you today is start a list. Okay, put a list of people you want to take. I mean, go in. I'll send out some collateral when I send out this recording. How to pull lists, how to create email templates, how to utilize them. So you want to do a minimum of 10 a week. So maybe pull your list on Monday, send the email template out to them right away. Go to Tuesday. I would check the agency deep dive dashboard, see if they open the email. So when you call them Tuesday, then you know that they opened it. And but play stupid, all right? To say, hey, I'm not sure if you saw it or not, but I sent an email about life insurance, and just see what their response is, because you want to gauge that a little bit, right? If they're not available, then task yourself to follow up again. I mean, keep reaching out until you connect with them. And that's kind of what marketing is about. I'm going to keep reaching out until you say, okay, let's set one up, or, just take me off your doggone list. But I still want to, create the awareness. And if you say no, got it, I'll put it in my notes. But I am going to pitch it again the next time I see you, because it's very important that you have something in place for you and your family. Okay. So, and as for Meet to discuss needs and products, if you need more information, let us know what you need. I always want to know what stops agents from asking. Okay. Most people, I've seen agents, 20 or 30 years, they've been in the industry, and all they do is they sell enough life insurance to just stay off the radar from territory office. And that's the wrong way of going about it. You got to believe in the product and look at your own situation. Do you have something in place? I mean, I look at this earthquake in Turkey and Syria. I mean, 19,000 people. And how many of them do you think may have had something in place to move forward, for their family? I mean, accidents happen every day. And is there something in place to look out for your family should something happen, you don't make it home? And so you want to pitch it. They can say no, put it in your notes that you offered, but definitely pitch it. Okay. So with that, thank you for joining us today. And look for our training for next week. We'll have another coffee chat, and we'll get some more people involved here. But again, have a great day, have a productive day, and start pitching life insurance. All right.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thank
Thanks,
you very
Lauren.
much, everyone. Great day to you.
I thank you.
You.